Well, 21 days off and a all-too-familiar result in the recent past as the Colorado Buffaloes open up Pac-12 conference play with a 44-17 loss to Oregon State here in Corvallis. Hi again, I'm Mark Johnson along with Larry Zimmer in our Buffs recap. Partner, the Buffaloes had this ball game 10-3 late in the first half, give up a touchdown, 17-3 at the half in the second half. Kind of forgot to come out of the locker room.
Well, they did, and they fell into mistakes that we haven't seen in the first two games. The fumbles on kickoffs gave Oregon State short field on two touchdowns they scored in the third period, and then they were not making the plays that they were in the first half. I thought they showed the rust in the first half, definitely, and in the second half they just fell apart in the third quarter. They went to the hurry up and maybe took something out of it in the fourth quarter. At least they scored a couple of touchdowns.
Boy, I guess the storyline coming into this ball game was two high-powered passing offenses. Well, Sean Mannion and the Beavers lived up to that pre-billing, if you will. The Buffaloes did not. It was an anemic passing attack for Colorado. Paul Richardson was almost not a factor in this game. Not
until late. He had one catch for 2 yards going into the fourth quarter. He ended up with 70 yards and 5 catches, but most of that was, and as you call in basketball, garbage time.
Yeah.
And when the Buffs were just trying to do anything they could out there. So I don't know. I think the layoff definitely hurt them in ways that we talked about. The fact that Oregon State had played 4 games, Colorado had played 2. I think that's more pertinent than the fact that they had the 2 weeks off or the 21 days off before they played. I just think Oregon State was a more polished football team because they had more experience playing.
You wonder, and Mike McIntyre on our postgame conversation on 850 KOA, a little bit short with this, but I said, might we see more hurry up? And his answer was affirmative, very short, but I think maybe that's the case.
Yeah, I think so. It was very effective. I think that's what they really want to do, Mark, and I don't think they were quite ready to do it. And in the first 2 games, they showed flashes of it. But McIntyre's always said we might go back in the huddle. We might not go hurry up all the time, but it was very effective for him today. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him do that. Frankly, if I'm a football coach against Oregon, I'd like to keep the ball for a while and run some time off the clock and not give it to the Ducks. So we might see a different strategy next week.
Well, we were going to say, if you're going to get well for the Colorado Buffaloes, it's awful tough to do with number 2 Oregon coming in next week. But again, considering where this program has been, it is a fragile football team from a psyche standpoint. They've got to get well here.
Sure, they do. Actually, the next 2 weeks are going to be tough. Arizona State's a good football team. I mean, I know nobody's looking, past Oregon, but Colorado today, I thought had an opportunity to win going in, but Oregon State had a little bit too much speed for him and a little bit too much experience.
Yep, and a little too much Sean Mannion, who was outstanding. He lived up to his pre-billing as well. As the Buffaloes fall 44-17 to Oregon State here in Corvallis. Next week, the number 2 Ducks of Oregon are in town. That's a 4 o'clock kickoff at Folsom Field. Family weekend. Zim and I and Chad Brown will hit the air at 2:05 on 850 KOA with the pregame. Our network affiliates pick up at 2:35, and then we'll see what the Buffs can do with the mighty Ducks as they come rolling in under former CU offensive coordinator, by the way, Mark Helfrich. Now the head man, now that Chip Kelly has moved down to the NFL. For Larry Zimmer, I'm Mark Johnson. Buffs fall 44-17 in their Pac-12 conference opener. They now sit at 2-1. Thanks for joining us on our Buffs recap here at 850KOA.com.